It was a rainy night in a small town, the kind of night where the streets go empty and silence feels heavier than usual. Rohan had just finished his late shift at work, tired, exhausted, and desperate to get home. He rushed toward the railway station, but when he reached there, something felt off. The station was completely empty. No ticket counter staff, no passengers, not even a single sound, except the faint echo of raindrops hitting the metal roof. Then, suddenly, an announcement played, train number 1317, arriving shortly on platform 2. Rohan frowned. That's strange, he whispered. I've never heard of this train before. But with no other option, he walked toward platform 2. A few moments later, a train slowly emerged from the darkness. Its lights were dim, flickering, and its metal body looked old, too old. The doors opened with a loud creak. Rohan hesitated, but then stepped inside. The moment he entered, the doors slammed shut behind him. Inside, the train was nearly empty. Only a few passengers sat quietly, their heads lowered, faces hidden in shadows. Rohan took a seat near the window. Something didn't feel right. The air inside was cold, unnaturally cold, like stepping into a freezer. Then, he noticed something terrifying. None of the passengers were moving, not even breathing. He leaned forward, trying to get a better look at the man sitting across from him. "Excuse me," Rohan said softly. No response. Slowly, the man lifted his head, and that's when Rohan's blood ran cold. The man had no eyes, just empty, dark holes staring straight at him. Rohan jumped back in fear. Suddenly, all the passengers turned their heads toward him at the same time, and one by one, they all had the same face. Pale skin, hollow eyes, and twisted smiles. The lights began to flicker violently. The train started speeding up, faster and faster, as if it had lost control. Rohan ran toward the door, trying to escape, but it wouldn't open. Then, a voice echoed through the train. "Next stop, the end." Panic took over. Rohan looked outside the window, and what he saw made his heart stop. There was no track, no station, nothing, just complete darkness, stretching endlessly. The train wasn't on Earth anymore. It was going somewhere else, somewhere no one returns from. Suddenly, a cold hand grabbed his shoulder. He slowly turned around. A woman stood behind him, her face covered with long black hair. In a broken whisper, she said, "You weren't supposed to board this train." Rohan tried to speak, but no words came out. The woman slowly moved closer and lifted her hair away from her face. Her eyes were completely black. Tears of blood rolled down her cheeks. "This train," she continued, "only carries the dead." Rohan's legs gave up. He collapsed on the floor. The passengers began to stand up, slowly walking toward him, step by step. Their smiles grew wider, unnatural, terrifying. The train suddenly stopped. The doors opened. Outside, there was nothing but thick fog. The voice returned, "Last stop." The passengers grabbed Rohan, dragging him toward the door. He screamed, struggled, but it was useless. As he was pulled into the fog, the last thing he heard was, "Now, you belong here." The next morning, the railway station was back to normal. People rushed, trains arrived and left, as if nothing had ever happened. But near platform 2, a railway worker found something strange. A phone. Lying on the ground, the screen was cracked, still recording, and when he played the video, he saw Rohan screaming inside an empty train, surrounded by shadows. And just before the video ended, a whisper came through the speaker. "Train 1317 will return tonight." And since that day, some passengers claim, if you ever hear an unknown train announcement at exactly 3:17 a.m., don't go to platform 2, because that train is still looking for new passengers.